Welcome back to another UCL Fantasy video. This will be the team selection for Matchday 6. I'll recap on how I did in Matchday 5 and look ahead to the rotation field Matchday 6 and my transfer plans. 2 free transfers only, and I could possibly take a hit. On screen, you can see the top 10 in the Dylan RCM League. Be sure to join. There is a link in the description below. We have thousands of members already. Let's see if you can pip top spot because it's very competitive, to say the least. Smash the like button if you enjoy it. Our aim is to get this video to over 200 likes, and if that's the case, there will be a deadline stream on Tuesday, and we'll be streaming from 3:30 p.m. UK time all the way until kickoff for the first set of matches in the Champions League, and we're very close to 22,000 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video around with those that love FPL and UCL Fantasy. But without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. Ever since I wasted my Limitless in Matchday 2 and things were looking pretty bleak, I was sitting around 300,000 in rank. There has been a steady improvement. I've been going up every time. Matchday 3, Matchday 4 when I played the wild card, and once again in Matchday 5, I'm now around 7,000, 6,000 rank in the world. 92 points in Matchday 5, and also I'm close to 400 overall points. You can see the league code as well on the bottom left hand corner of your screen. And in the starting 11, 3 players got man of the match awards in Foden, Bellingham and Joao Cancelo. I also got a return from my 4 million goalkeeper, now 4.1 million, in Ramiro, and I think he's a very solid choice. It's just a shame now that his last game is the toughest one yet, away to Inter Milan in that decider for top spot in that group. Saliba got yet another clean sheet since I brought him in on the wild card, and he's been very impressive. But Arsenal recently have been conceding goals. They gifted 1 to Wolves, they also gifted 2 to Luton and conceded 3 overall, and they also lost to Aston Villa. So defensively have been a bit shaky in recent weeks, mainly through individual errors. Then you've got David Raum getting 3 points, and Leipzig were looking very strong against Manchester City, but inevitably the citizens made a comeback. Joao Cancelo put in a fantastic display, one of the best I've seen from a defender in this season's Champions League. And then Patrick, he's a 4 million defender who I bought to be able to fund Saka and Bellingham in the midfield as part of a -4 hit, and Patrick got a yellow card in the 94th minute for complaining to the referee about a non-existent penalty being given, and then in the end the penalty was rescinded but the yellow card stood, so it could have been 8 points. Still, I'm very happy with the 7, but you have to say sometimes these yellow cards should be rescinded. Then you've got Bryce Mendes once again blanking. Ever since I've bought him and been talking and waxing lyrical about him, he just hasn't delivered, quite frankly. Phil Foden with an exceptional display. He was involved in all 3 Manchester City goals with 1 goal and 2 assists and a man of the match display. As for Jude Bellingham, I think my kind of regret is not going for him or Saka for the captaincy on the Wednesday. I captained Haaland on the Tuesday, wanted more points from my captain, and I switched to Harry Kane, who blanked once again against Copenhagen. But Saka as well, very solid display. He's produced 3 double-digit returns out of 3 at the Emirates Stadium, but it's now PSV away, and I would expect Arsenal to rotate, so these Arsenal players aren't safe. I could also see a few other players being benched and also not doing particularly well in the final match day of the group stages. Erling Haaland scored, and then those on my bench were pretty underwhelming because I did have Zaire Emery, who is out for the rest of the year, and also ter Stegen, who also could be out for a few weeks or months after a successful back surgery, and Morata missed 2 big chances and he produced 2 points, so he's back to default settings. He is still a very good UCL fantasy option. I do back him in Matchday 6. He was disappointing in the last one, but we move on, and overall it was a very solid display, and I would have easily reached 100 plus points if I nailed the captaincy down on the Wednesday. In this segment of the video, I'll be talking about my team without making any transfers, and I've still got some injury doubts in ter Stegen and Zaire Emery, and to be fair, they're not even injury doubts, they are officially ruled out for Matchday 6, so I will be looking to get rid of one of them at least. But ter Stegen, despite being injured for several weeks now, he was also my team for Matchday 5. I might still keep him because I'm not really too fond of making a -4 hit for a goalkeeper. I'll just play Ramiro, see what points he can get against Inter Milan. It'll probably be 2 or 3, but I just don't think it's worth a -4 hit, and it only really pays off if the goalkeeper gets a clean sheet and additional save points. And I'm also looking at bigger priorities because at the moment, he might not be flagged in the game, but Erling Haaland is very likely to miss out in matchday 6. He is not in the squad against Luton Town, and he also might miss game week 17 of FPL against Crystal Palace at home, and I'll talk about that in the respective FPL content, so be sure to check that out. But currently I've got Romero in goal away to Inter Milan. I'm not expecting much there. I also think Saliba could be benched, and the same goes for Bukayo Saka. Arsenal have secured top spot already. PSV away is a tough game, so I'm not expecting anything really from the Gunners. Also Joao Cancelo, I think he will start and Barcelona will go relatively strong, even though first position is virtually secured in their group, but that is a great game for him. Antwerp away if he does get the nod. The same goes for David Raum at home. Nothing to play for there for RB Leipzig because they will finish second no matter what the results are in matchday 6. But if David Raum starts, he's got a good chance of a clean sheet and he can get an assist, some ball recoveries and a big return against Young Boys. Then I have Jude Bellingham in the midfield, and despite Real Madrid securing top spot, I think he will start, and as a result he is currently my captain on the Tuesday. Zaire Emery is out, unfortunately. I think he's probably the best option at that price and below in the midfield, so he's one to look out for in the knockout stages should Paris Saint-Germain progress to the next round. And of course Saka I discussed already. He's a great UCL fantasy option, probably the best midfielder in the game besides Bellingham, but in matchday 6 I don't think he'll get the start, and that's just personally how I think it's going to go. Arsenal have some tough games against Brighton at home and also Liverpool away in the coming weeks in the Premier League, so I just don't really see Saka or most Arsenal assets being risked, the key ones, in a meaningless game against PSV Eindhoven. Then I've got Bryce Mendes away to Inter Milan, yet another player I'm not really expecting anything from, even though he's one of the highest scorers in UCL Fantasy, but he just hasn't delivered in the last couple of match days. Harry Kane, nothing to play for really apart from personal glory. Bayern Munich just lost 5-1 to Frankfurt, and they might be eager to set things right and build some momentum, and reports have indicated over the last week that Bayern Munich will go strong, so I think Harry Kane will start and I'm quite happy to keep him. I'm not sure if I'd captain him. His record against Manchester United isn't particularly great anyway, but he registered a goal, an assist and 9 points against Manchester United in matchday 1. But the big issue here is Erling Haaland, because he's been carrying a foot injury for the last couple of weeks. He isn't in the squad against Luton Town. That's confirmed by David Ornstein, and this video is recorded before the Manchester City game has taken place, and any future updates will be provided in the comment section, so keep an eye out for the comment section always for the pinned comment, and I always try to update you with the latest injury news and also talk about suggestions for some alternatives for these key injured assets like Erling Haaland in the best limitless and wildcard team videos. And the last forward is Alvaro Morata, disappointing in matchday 5, but he has been great in this season's Champions League, and he has a terrific goal record at home in the Champions League this season, so I would expect him to do well in this crunch game against Lazio to secure top spot for Atletico Madrid. And as for my bench, Ter Stegen is out for the rest of the year and hopefully recovers very soon. The same goes for Zaire Emery. Then you've got Patrick away to Atletico Madrid. I'm not expecting much, but maybe he can get some ball recovery points, so 3, 4, 5 points is possible, but I'm not holding my breath. As for Rico Lewis and Foden, they are rotation risks. Manchester City could rotate very heavily indeed, but I would expect one of them to start. That would be my take, and if it wasn't for the Haaland injury, I also thought he would have started, and that's why I talked about him in the best limitless and wildcard team videos. But let's now head over to my transfer plans, and I'll discuss the captaincy, my plans to deal with rotation, and much more in matchday 6. My biggest concerns are Haaland and Zaire Emery because they are in key positions, the forward and midfield. And when I'm looking at Ter Stegen, he's out, but I don't think it's worth taking a -4 hit to sell him, and also to keep one of Haaland or Zaire Emery in my squad whilst focusing on my goalkeeper position. That could change, of course, and I might still take extra hits and replace some Arsenal players, or anyone else I think will be left out. We could also get some more injury updates over the next couple of days, and things could change from what I'm talking about here to the deadline stream, so be sure to check that out as well on the Tuesday. But I am considering Galeno in for Zaire Emery and Rodrigo for Erling Haaland, and I've still got 1 million in the bank which I could use for any additional hits I may wish to take. But that's the first set of transfer plans, and in the comment section down below I want you guys and girls to let me know what you would do. Would you go for Rodrigo and Galeno, or would you go for Alvarez and Xavi Simons? Both of them could be bigger rotation risks compared to Rodrigo and also Galeno, but still, you could say the same thing about any UCL fantasy option you're looking to bring in, or those that you have in your squad already. Matchday 6 is always very difficult to predict, and in this season's Champions League, we've already got so much rotation anyway in Matchday 4, and Matchday 5, so I can't even imagine what Matchday 6 has in store for us. But one thing's for certain, I'm looking to upgrade the forward and midfield position, and if there are any additional hits that you think are worth taking, maybe upgrading Patrick, Saliba, Saka, ter Stegen, whoever it may be, let me know down in the comment section below. The captaincy will be very simple. On the Tuesday, I'll go for Jude Bellingham. That's set in stone. On the Wednesday, things are a bit difficult now because Erling Haaland's not there to really secure that captaincy choice. I might still go for Foden. We do get the early lineups for Manchester City against Fernandes, and I could captain either Alvarez or Foden if I choose to bring the Argentine in. And it all depends on the lineups we get, and that's the added benefit of Manchester City playing early on the Wednesday. But if I decide to go with the other transfer plans and don't bring in Alvarez, I might just settle with Morata as my Wednesday captain. And a few other transfers I'm considering is Mbappe instead of Rodrigo or Alvarez, but that would mean going for a very cheap midfielder. We're talking about 5.4 million or below, and I'm not a big fan of the options at our disposal. Zaire Emery would be my favourite, but he's injured anyway, and I'm looking to sell him. So I don't like the alternatives in that position for that price point, and that's why I'd rather go to a Galeno, a Xavi Simons in the midfield, and then going for a forward around 10 million or below. And unfortunately, I can't go to Griezmann either, so I'd have to settle with Rodrigo, Openda, who's another alternative I'm considering, and also Julian Alvarez. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Who are you captaining on the Tuesday and Wednesday? For me, it's Bellingham and Morata, and if not, it's going to be Bellingham and Foden, or maybe someone like Alvarez instead. There's so much still to decide. I could still take a -4 hit, but as things stand, I'm leaning towards using 2 free transfers and just swallowing my pride. And if any players get benched like Saka, so be it. It is what it is. And maybe if he's on the bench, he could get something with a substitution appearance. But thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, then be sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. Let's try to get this video to the 200 likes, and let's keep on pushing towards 22,000 subscribers and beyond. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, DylanRCM, and check all the links in the description below for the Patreon, Championships Discord server, and the UCL Fantasy League. I wish you all the best of luck for Matchday 6 and the rest of the season, and I'll see you next time.